fix my camera. Okay. Well, hello, how are you? So glad you could join us today. We're going to talk about some topics and blockages, okay? Hi, Debbie, how are you? Welcome. One second. Oh, thank you so much. I love you. I appreciate you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I love you too. I do. I appreciate you guys so much. Hi. I think it's good evening where you're at, right? It's not where I'm at. It's the middle of the day. Yeah. Heart right back. Yep. Yep. I thought so. Yeah. Yeah, all of you in the other countries, I thank you so much for staying up late to watch this show. Today, hi Cynthia. Today I have a couple really good questions, but we're also going to talk about blockages. So many of you are going through spiritual awakening, spiritual transformation. And if you're not, you just want to simply know. You want to know what's going on, right? I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit. Now you can see my angel in the background. I love angels and dragonflies and butterflies. I always have. So the first question that we have today is from one of my clients. Hello. Um, she's asking, this is a really good question, I think. Her question is, I am at a point in my life where people from my past keep showing up, and the term full circle is what I'm hearing all often. Is this part of the soul's journey? So full circle could mean a bunch of different things, but I think what they're trying to say is when we start at one point with a person and we go through different traumas, different things, different situations, circumstances, whether it be positive or negative, we come full circle right back to that person. And that could very well be part of the spiritual journey that you're going through, Jarita. But this is making amends. So these people coming back into your life from the past, they are coming back in because either you have come to them or they've been brought back to you so that you can fix, heal, release, whether it be on their end or your end. So that's what happens through the journey. We need to look at every single situation, relationship that has taken place in our life so that we can go back. If there's something that needs to be healed, we heal it and then we move forward. Yes, yes. She's saying that a lot of her karmics are returning, and they do return in specific phases through the astrological planet placements and all the stuff that takes place that way. But they also will return just in general because we need to rectify, we need to take care of old karmic situations. Many of you will encounter other soulmates that you've met along the way, romantic or not, it doesn't matter. But it's all about making sure that everything is resolved. Now, sometimes that resolve of these people coming back from the past can actually be you saying, I've had enough of your crap. I'm not going to do this. And you don't even have to say that. You just look at them and say, okay, I wish you well. Bye. And you leave. Literally, you leave. And this could be a family member you do it to, where you really are done. You refuse to go play that game that they play, especially like those of you when I was talking about narcissists last week, right? We don't want to deal with those kind of people anymore. When we go through the journey, we've done all this hard work, and it's hard, right, you guys? I know those of you who are going through it, it's hard. And once we've gone through, we've removed the blockage, we've done the healing, we've released it, let it go, and we're moving forward. No way am I going back there. I don't think any of you ever want to go back there either. I don't want to have to go through all that stuff again. It was awful. It was just simply awful. So I do hope that helps you with that question. Now, the next question we have is from Mandy. She's so beautiful. Um, Hi, Sherry. Um, what are your thoughts about reading oracle cards for yourself? And she's not talking about tarot cards. She's talking about the oracle cards, you know, the ones that I use before like the monthly, before I use the monthly, which I'll be posting the rest of the monthlies up tomorrow. I just have to upload them. It takes forever to upload them. Um, when we are doing our own cards, okay, and we're not psychic, and even if we are, if we're psychic or intuitive or empath, whatever category we fall under, when we look for ourselves coming from the angle of the metaphysical side of it, that we have a gift, we actually can be blocked if we are too emotionally involved in whatever that situation is in our life. When I read for my children, which isn't very often that they come to me, but every now and they, you know, now and then they will come to me. I have to literally separate my emotions because I can't have emotions in there and focus on the logical point of it so that I can get to them without my feelings getting in there. Because when our feelings get in there, we get inaccurate readings. And I'm really good at doing that. Not everybody is. Now, when we don't have a gift or when we don't know how to use the gift and we're using tarot cards, and a lot of you guys out there do, you use tarot cards to help you because you're going through the journey, you want to know the answer. And you can't, you know, call a psychic every single day like I did when I was going through mine. But I did too. I spent a lot of money. But all that money came back. Any money you put out for healing, it will come back to you if you use it for healing purpose, okay? But anyway, I've expressed to you guys that when you're looking at tarot readers, like on YouTube, if they are not intuitive, it's their energy that is coming through the cards. If they don't know how to connect to somebody, my readings, I am actually connecting to at least one person in my readings. Who? I don't know. I don't want to know. But I assure you, it is meant for somebody, which is why you're seeing people say, oh my God, you just did my life. Most likely, not necessarily, because the only way to know for sure is if you get a reading, right? But I connect to somebody and that is their message, or a group of people, depends on what it is. But when we're talking about tarot cards without the intuitive side being attached, it's whatever energy's coming through you. So if you're angry, those cards are going to come out negative. If you're super positive, they're going to come out positive. Now, when we're looking at oracle cards, which is her real question, this is the same thing, exact same thing. So if we're in an uplifted mood and we have a high vibration, and we have a high vibration, those cards are going to come out super, super positive. Well, what happened with her is I had done a reading with her and I had pulled cards for her that were very, very positive. She pulled the same three cards. This is months later, but she pulled the same three cards. So that's why she was asking. They are. So she just said that they're better than therapy. And you know what? They really are when you're going through the journey, because we don't want to think. We have so much confusion. Hi, Peter. We have so much confusion, so much craziness going on because we are literally in two different minds. We are in the conscious mind in the 3D world. Our soul is also dominating. So we're going from soul thinking to conscious mind, back and forth, back and forth. And that causes even more confusion. But that confusion is actually meant to force you to go back and look at whatever needs to be healed, which is what we're gonna take a look at that now. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is blockages. And I'm not sure if you guys are aware or not, but I'm going to repeat it if you are. So, when we go through a spiritual transformation, any kind of a transformation, even if it's one that we choose to make transformations in our life, it is literally about reviewing our entire life, and we're going to use it on the 3D plane, okay? So, our entire physical life right now in this lifetime, we're going to go back. We're going to look at situations. We're going to look at people. We're going to go back and backtrack, and we're going to see what is going on in our life to create us from maybe not having love. So if we look back in the past, there may be repetitive cycles where we're picking narcissists or we're picking people who are not physically and emotionally available. Those are for those people who want to do. I used to, and you guys know this, I've told you before, but I always picked men that live far, far away from me because I didn't want a permanent relationship, and I sure did not want them knocking on my door, interrupting my time with my children. I was very devoted to raising my two children. I was alone, so I wanted to make sure that I had special time for them. I was able to work with them with their school work, whatever it was that we needed, just family bonding, right? So I didn't want to, and that's what happened when I would date people close. They would just knock on my door. They'd just show up on the doorstep, and I didn't like that, and nor do I do that to anybody ever. But so I would pick people who were physically distant, but what I was actually picking was the same thing mentality as I had, where I did not want a commitment. But when we look through our life, we have to see, why is it we don't want a commitment? What has shut us down from opening up to love or life in general? What has made us work in a career for years and years that we absolutely hate? We have no room for advancement. And even if we're getting paid high dollar, we despise and loathe the job, which affects every part of our life, right, you guys? It affects every single part of our life. So, what is it? What is blocking us? What's keeping us? Are we too hung up on materialistic things? Are we afraid that we don't have what it takes to succeed? And reviewing what our true definition of success is. Your definition of success could be very different than my definition of success. It depends on where our mindset is, right? Some people feel that success is all about money, or whoever has the mostest is the bestest. Other people feel, and I am one of those, where if you're looking at a single father who has to raise his three daughters, and he does it successfully, where they are able to complete school, high school, and move into college, and they have the good boyfriends, they have healthy relationships. That is success to me, right? Or the single parent who is trying to get three children into three different schools and to work in a 20-minute time frame. This is success. So everybody's definition of success is different. So as we go through our life and we review everything, we can literally go back and we can see where we got off track. When I was, let's say hypothetically, when I was 18, I wanted to go to college, and I wasn't going to get married till I was 26, and I wasn't going to have my first baby until I was 30. Well, I personally got married at the age of 18 and had my first baby at 20. So, I got off my path right away. That was not the path that I had intended on, but it was a beautiful path for me. But when we go off our path, we have a lot of bumps along the road. So the two of wands that you guys see in the tarot deck, where you can take this path, the goal's the same. You can take this path and it's shorter and faster, or you can take this path and it's harder and longer, but the lessons are learned through that journey. You're going to get to the outcome, right? Blockages are anything that causes us to move forward in our life, that prevents us from getting what God wants us to have. That's what a blockage is. God wants us to have everything. The universe, they want us to have the happy home, the happy life, all of these beautiful cards in the tarot, right? And we all know this. Many of us have been raised in a religious environment. It says the same thing. In the Bible, it says the same thing. We are actually meant to have all of those wonderful things. The blockages are what are stopping us. Now, blockages can be many different things, but what it basically is it's a form of suffering. It's a form of repetitive patterns creating pain, suffering. This could be self-sabotage, emotional stress, trauma, right? It can be low self-esteem, whatever it is for each individual person. But I will assure you that most people going through the transformation, whether it be spiritual or on their own, are dealing with emotional stress, trauma, feeling sabotage, self-sabotage, and low self-worth. That's a normal thing. Now, there are also, when we're talking about the spiritual transformation, this not only includes situations and blockages in this lifetime, but it also includes other lifetimes where when were incarnated in a past life, we had a mission. We had something we were supposed to achieve, a goal. And if we got off our path, if we had a blockage, which could have been brought on by a number of different things, and we were not able to complete the mission for whatever reason, we didn't reach that goal, it's going to carry over into the next lifetime. It can carry over into 2 or 3 lifetimes. So we have to relive it as we go through this spiritual transformation. We can begin to feel withdrawn. We can feel depressed, insecure, and shut down, like we just shut down, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. It's very difficult for us to socialize. Some people can't talk. I couldn't talk. And when I tried to talk to my soulmate, that triggered me into this. I couldn't speak. I could not talk. I couldn't get the words out. And he was really, really cool and very patient with me. Like he knew what I was going through. He also is very intuitive. But we lose motivation. We have no luster in us at all. We're fatigued. We're fearful. We're anxious. We're worried. We're nervous. We're panicked. Many of you have experienced the panicking, right? That's part of the transformation. Hello. That's part of that transformation, that panic feeling. We can have these panic attacks for absolutely no reason. And sometimes we can be in a really good mood and all of a sudden, bam, hello, Kevin, all of a sudden, bam, we have this panic attack. We're actually took the time to go out and be with friends and start mingling with people. We can now talk a little bit, to carry on a conversation. And we start having a panic attack. We start feeling that pressure in our solar plexus, that pulling from the heart and from the solar plexus, from those chakras. That can be coming from our soulmate. And that's on any level. It does not have to be just a romantic soulmate. But we're picking up on their energies because we're connected to them, right? Hello, London. There's a lot of different things that take place, but what I wanted you guys to understand, and I wanted to bring up too, you can even feel like somebody's watching you. Something is watching you. Like you can feel this. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a human being, nor does it mean that it's anything evil. That can be something else or someone else. We have incredible, horrible sleep disturbance through the entire journey. We wake up at 1, 2, 3 a.m. and it's pretty well consistent. So it may be 2:22 on one day and 3:15 the next day, 2:22 the next day, and we keep going around and waking up. We'll sleep for 2 or 3 hours, we'll be up for 3 hours, and then we sleep 1 and then we go to work. So we're running on no sleep. And there will be times, I remember there were times that I was driving to work. I didn't even know I got to work. I mean, I was literally on autopilot. My brain wasn't, it was not in the real world. It was out of there. So I'm driving to work and I look up and it's like, oh, I had no idea I was there. And I really didn't care. I was not expressive like I was right there. This is what takes place. We can have incredible dreams with people that we've never met. But the situation, the surroundings, the situation, the circumstance is exactly a replica of what we remember in our past, but the people aren't. The people are different. This could be people from different lifetimes coming into your dream state because their soul, our souls are free. Our souls are literally free. We can move from all over the place. That's what astro travel's about. So, also in these dreams, we can have demonic faces in these dreams. And the demonic faces are coming from past lifetimes, not this lifetime. That's something that is coming through. There can be evil attached to what we didn't accomplish in the past. There can be evil in this lifetime, but typically, through my experience, through all of my guidance clients and helping people remove blockages and do that healing, these are from past lifetimes where there may have been a situation where they were in that lifetime, and that could have been why you didn't get to complete whatever your mission was in that last lifetime. So, as we go through this journey, whether it's again a self induced transformation or a spiritual transformation where we didn't take action and the divine said, oh, yeah, bam, here's a tower, now fix it. And that's what they do, right? But they help us the whole way. They do. They help us on every single level. And this is what I do for you. This is why I give you the free public readings. Something in those readings, it may be one little blurb, maybe it's talking about love and it has nothing to do with it, but that other little blurb I give is stuff about that. So you do hear me talk about going through spiritual awakenings because that's really what I'm supposed to do. So my goal is to help everybody in any possible way. That's why I've set up the guidance calls and I have the programs and the modules and all of the things to help find and release those blockages so that you can have everything you're meant to have. Oh, I didn't read it all. I didn't read it all, but it sounds like a very difficult situation what you're dealing with. Yeah, so regarding the blockages, it is something preventing us from aligning. Our soul is connected to the subconscious mind. Our conscious mind isn't connected. When we remove these blockages, it connects us like this. Now, in the end, life is very different. Life is very, very different. It doesn't mean you're not going to have icky people around you. Yep, they're not going away. It's how we perceive life. It's how we perceive those people. We don't allow toxic people in our life. We'll avoid them. And that's not easy, especially if we are dealing with a soulmate and they come in and they're not healed. That's really hard because we have that love, but they're not healed. It can be that conflicted thing again, where it's like, do I? I know they're gonna, or do I not? So it can cause some confusion. And when it's somebody we love, it can be our own child or our own parent. It can be somebody we've grown up with our entire life where we have to disconnect from them. Because as we go through this journey, we see who is actually on our side and who's not on our side. We can be with people for 10 years and think they're our best friend. And then when we look back, we see that they pick on us all the time, constantly pushing our self-worth, trying to get us down so they bring themselves up. But when we're in the moment, we don't see that. You can ask a question. She was just talking about astral travel. Astral travel is a very cool experience. Some of you have experienced it. That is where our soul leaves our body. We can do it in a sleep state. We can do it in a daydream state where I do it all the time. And I'll go and I see people and I watch them and I see what they're doing, not violating their privacy. It's done in a different way. But when majority of people will be able to identify with it in the sleep process, because when we're sleeping, we literally can feel our body drop back down into our external shell, into our human form. Our soul, not our body, our soul will drop back down, and it's like bam, and your bed will jolt. For those of you going through the journey, that's what esoteric sex is, and it's like the best sex ever. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's very hard. That's very hard to deal with. I think I'm going through that transformation. My soul can't seem to like anybody. I'm distant. Yeah, you probably are. Um, you can book a guidance call or have a reading, and I'll be able to help you with that. The transformation, what's happened twice? You can remember it happened twice. Is that the transformation? I mean, the astro travel? Is that what you're talking about? You gotta put it up there. You gotta just put it up there. Put it in little, like, 2 lines and do it in, like, because then I can read it. If it's too long, it doesn't last long enough. Oh, well, that's not good. Why would you send me an email, Earth Angel? Okay, get off my channel. That's disgusting. Um, I honestly have never worked with anybody. Kevin's talking about astro travel, right? I agree. Kevin's talking about astro travel, how he's tried to do it. I just do it. I wasn't taught how to do it. I came into the world knowing how to do it. I've been here so many times. I've been here, oh God, and that's why I'm good at what I do with you guys, because I've been doing it for many, many lifetimes. Um, but I could probably help you do that. Of course, I always am guided. Everything I do is guided. Everything I do. Well, not going to the grocery store. I just buy what I want, like Reese's peanut butter cups, right? I'm back on the kick again. I did really good, but stop. But now I'm back on them again. Um, yeah, astro travel is really an amazing thing, but oftentimes when we do astro travel, we don't always remember the journey itself. We can remember bits and pieces of it. Again, our soul is not connected to the subconscious mind. I mean, our conscious mind. They're separate. So if you're going through a spiritual transformation, you may not remember. Okay. I remember mine, but I've completed mine. I've completed my journey. It's done. It was hard, and I never want to do it again. And that's why I'm helping all of you, so you don't have to do it for 10 years. Yes, yes. So Jasmine's saying she could see herself leaving her body and it scared her. Yes, we can do this. So as a little girl, I learned and I just knew how to do it, but I can look down. I can look down on a situation. I can see everybody. I can hear everything, but I am out of my body. And it is in a day state for me typically when I do this, but I can see the entire situation. And one of the advantages of being able to astro travel, from my perspective, my personal opinion, is I can see and hear things from a very different point of view. When we're standing and talking to 3 people, and we're in that moment talking to those 3 people, we hear Sally, we hear Tommy, and we hear Johnny, okay? And everybody's talking and all of that, but our brain can only absorb so much. We only retain a certain percentage of what we hear, what we learn, right? When we astro travel and we look down, we can hear everything. We don't miss anything. You can repeat it, you can play it back, you can redo it over and over again, and you can hear everything each one of those people are talking about that we only caught a couple minutes of, because this one was talking, this one was talking, like kids do. Like you don't hear everything because they're all like, you know, come running in and trying to talk to you. Well, I know a lot of adults that do that too. I do that too. But yeah, it's an amazing, very incredibly unique experience. So if you guys want to throw some questions up, please do it in 1 or 2 sentences. In your astro travel, a guy was playing a horn. Brandy, are you talking about astro travel? Or are you talking about healing blockages? I don't know. I don't know what you're asking. No questions? Are we done? We're ending early today. Hello? Yes. You are going to see your souls. She's saying, or he, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name, that they see their soulmate in their dream. And yes, you are going to see your soulmate in your dream. The two of you are connected and you have an ability of telepathic communication. Now, here's where people don't understand. They think if they're seeing their soulmate and the soulmate saying, I love you, that means in the 3D world, the two of you are going to run off and get married. No. You two have a contract from the other side to help each other through this journey. They trigger you to do your work and move away from them. You trigger them to do their work and move away from you. But you will have telepathic communication where they tell you, I love you, they encourage you, they support you. You know, they're trying to let you know you are safe and you are loved. This is on a soul level. It's not in the 3D form. Yeah. Um, Fran, you might be. I think you already do it, Fran. Actually, Fran's one of my guidance clients. I honestly think you do it. There was one point in time where I remember talking to you, and I saw that you were able to do it. So you and I can talk about that, and we'll practice. How's that? If you want, we can do that, and then I'll put that on my list of things. So I haven't taught anybody how to do it. Jamie, yeah, I'm sure I can. You can book a guidance call or a reading. You are very welcome. Butterfly Effect. That was one crazy movie, right? I remember looking at it going, what the heck? Can I see your text? Yes. Okay, deja vu. Robin's saying she has deja vu a lot. Now, deja vu can be premonitions in the future. It can be of the past. It depends on what your version is of it, what you're seeing, right? Deja vu is a psychic prediction, is what it is. So you may be an empath if you are seeing that. All right, you could have more than one gift. We all have a gift. Each and every one of us have a gift. We actually have the ability to tap into many. It depends on how many lifetimes we have been here. Okay, so you guys have heard me talk about my older son, and he's my baby soul. He thinks he's a psychic and he gets like visions, but they, you know, a few have happened, but he's not. He is a baby soul. This is his second incarnation here on earth. So he is just beginning to learn all that he needs to learn. So each time he comes down, his gift will be enhanced. I've been here so many times. That's why I don't need the cards. I don't need to do that. And we'll just start seeing visions. And this is what I work with my in the classes, the psychic development classes, which is really amazing because people go in, they don't realize how much they really have until they're in that class, and it's like, oh my gosh, and they're good. They're like really good at it. Yes, Cynthia, I can. She asked if I could see how many times she's been here. I do past life regression, so yes, I can tell you a lot. There's so much in here. I just mix it all up for you, put a little pizzazz on there. Well, Amanda's asking about why religions don't talk about incarnations. There are some that do. But that is a huge, that would probably take an hour to cover that topic. But if you want to send that question to me, I can address it in a brief form for you guys. Can I tell you from afar? Everything I do, Cynthia, is from afar. I very rarely meet my clients in person. How did you validate your gifts for yourself? I didn't read the rest of that question, but validate my gifts for myself. I just knew. When I was a little girl, I knew I had the gift. I knew. I saw ghosts, I heard them, I saw angels, I talked to angels. Now, typically, children can talk to angels until the age of 5, right? Because the socialization, all the belief systems, the parents, and everything that we learn, we put our kids in church, whatever it may be. Just the conditioning convinces them that they're not really seeing an angel. It convinces them that it's not real, but it is real. And I have a great story. I'll share that with you next week. It's a really wonderful story about children and angels and seeing angels. It's very enlightening. You guys would like it. You were drawn to my channel because of the feathers in the background, not because of me. Okay, not because of me. All right. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. It's nice to have you here. If the feathers work, right on. It doesn't matter. How will you know your soulmate? Big Will, you're gonna know. It's this profound connection. It's like the two of you are very intense. You will have direct eye contact, and it's like you don't want to lose the eye contact. That connection is very, very deep, very profound, unlike any other experience. And I'm assuming you're talking romantic. A romantic one is very intense, and you can have regular other soulmates that are equally as intense, but not, in my experience and everyone I have worked with in my entire life, it has not been this as profound as it is with the romantic soulmate. It's kind of like the romantic soulmate comes in and fixes what we don't fix before that. So we can meet 5 soulmates, mom, cousin, the banker, our best friend. All of them come into our lives to help us promote healing and growth so we can expand and we can align. If we don't do that, then here comes the romantic soulmate going, I'm here. Well, let's do this. And if that doesn't work, then you're going to have repetitive patterns over and over again. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. I thank you so much for joining me. Please send all your questions to ascendingsoulsjourney@gmail.com. It's all over, you guys. Those of you wanting to book readings or talk to me, whatever, everything is on. Look in the about section. Look on everything I post. It's all there for you guys. Now, we'll let you know the psychic development class that's starting in July. I've already got people signing up for that. So if you wanted to do it, you may want to do it now before it gets too full. I don't put very many people in those classes. They're limited. So you are very welcome. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Send your questions to me and we'll address them next week, and I will see you soon. Much love.